So for this week's Garden Arcana, hello. Anyway, as I was saying, so it's the last week of Garden Arcana, and on this week, week 7, we have the Sun card, the Judgment card or Awakening in the Herbcrafters Tarot, and the final major Arcana card of this series, the World. In the Herbcrafters Tarot, again, these cards are beautiful. In this beautiful Sun card, we're encouraged to celebrate the sheer vitality and gift of being alive. And I think with life being so difficult sometimes, we forget that there is a gift there. It's about chasing our joy, experiencing and recognising our bliss. And I love the fact that there are little bottles for flower essences in this card too. The Judgment card called Awakening. Now I love that word awakening for this card, because for me it is about waking up, about rebirth, about a new start, starting again. And this card connects it very much to connection with the divine, finding our connection, the reverence of nature. And finally, this beautiful World card. I love the mandala in this. The mandala speaks of the journey that we've been on. It's a journey where we have integrated all of the lessons that we've learned, but those lessons will come round again, we're told. But when they do, we can greet them as old friends. Those old friends were once mountains that buried us in sorrow, but on the Fool's journey, we've learned we can now greet them as new friends, because we've learned to dig our way through and out of the mountains that we meet. And now we can recognise the whole journey, the Fool's journey, and understand that this whole time in the garden, we were the Fool. I love the World card and the Fool card in this tarot mirroring each other with a mandala. And so, to find these energies in my garden this week, I start this week looking for the Sun energy. And I really didn't have to look very far, because this was the week that the oxeye daisies opened, and look at that for a beautiful Sun representation. I think any daisy really embodies that happy lightness of spirit of the Sun card. Also, the fox and cubs are orange suns everywhere, as is this pale yellow-eyed grass, part of the iris family, which I think I showed last week, but look at it now in full flower. This a plant surely that will make Theia over at Garden Goddess Tarot love yellow in the garden. I think I'm on a mission now to introduce yellow to her, and this is the plant with all its mini suns that will do it. Here are more fox and cubs open at the top of the garden, and this is common nipplewort, linked to the sunflower family, an absolute weed that I let grow because I love its little yellow flowers. And look, I actually unearthed that missing vegetable bed this week up here. But the timing couldn't be better for Sun card energy, because these are all sunflowers that I've been growing in the greenhouse alongside a whole swathe of zinnias, ready to be planted out this week in Sun card week. Perfect timing. And this is a place in the garden where I plant them, next to new heuchera and hedge wandwort, which I've been told isn't self-heal by one of you brilliant lot. So hedge wandwort, I think that's how I say it, not self-heal. My videos need to come with a disclaimer that I might sometimes get plants muddled. So planting sunflowers in highest most humid temperatures in my garden. It has been another summer, stormy, tropical heat week with odd weather amongst all of these sunny flowers. I had just finished planting out all of the zinnias and all of the sunflowers after carefully tending them for weeks when the thunder and the lightning began, along with the most insane rain and ice hail. The second lot of ice hail, an old friend, a challenge, a mountain that I've already met in the last few weeks. We've had a few of these storms now, to greet as old friends and know that it will be fine, to stay in sun card energy. Look, Daisy's out in the wild, this outside a friend's house this week with a circle of trees outside her house. We've had strange weather, but we've still followed our bliss. Like this one evening where me and friends took the dogs on a walk over local hills that I haven't been to for such a long time. The dogs were following their bliss. This was the dogs' sun card moment of the week, but also mine, and also within this there was a bit of judgment card as well. That idea of reawakening. I am trying to move more, exercise more, get out more, and this walk was the start of all of that, and it put me on top of the world, judgment, the world, the sun card, all embodied in this beautiful evening walk through beautiful scenery with happy dogs. This was me following my bliss, learning to dig my way through the mountain. I'm facing challenges at the moment, challenges to get my health back on track, but what a blissful way to do it, to follow mine and the dogs' bliss and to walk into happy spaces. I think time out in nature with our pets is real sun card embodiment. These hills in particular, I've walked with these two dogs since they were both puppies. This pond at the bottom of here, the very first water Rupert ever jumped into and discovered that he loved swimming. Watching Rupert swim is an absolute embodiment of sun card energy, even if the water is covered in algae. When I look at the faces of other people watching Rupert swim, I see sun card energy too. It just brings delight to watch. It makes me feel like a child again, watching the dogs do this. Is that fun? Water play, hill running, and roses in bloom. Our bliss, our happy place. Tarot in real life. The sun card right there. So from our happy places, mine and the dogs, I go to the judgment card. Where to find the judgment card or awakening in the garden? And I look to my upcycling. And this week, next to this brand new heuchera, which I am planting in here next to others, there is the sewing machine, but also a friend's barbecue that she'd thrown into a skip. Yes, it's a bit rusty. Yes, its days and life is done as a barbecue, but a reawakening, and for a kitchen sink and an old trampoline ladder. These 3 big pieces of upcycling I have in the garden, alongside all of Tilly's fairy stuff that keeps getting lost, I think this is the start of a reawakening into a world. Hey, we've got the Judgment card and the World card here. A fairy world is beckoning. So I position forgotten old items ready to awaken them into a new life. Get the trumpets ready, dogs. We're calling this into its new existence. All upcycling in the garden, perfect judgment energy, and oh boy, do I have a haul for you guys this week. So I've literally just got back from my local charity shop. Now they know me very well in there. They know all about the garden. They know all about Tilly. They always get really excited to find out what I'm doing next in the garden. I walked in today looking for some glass to carry on making sort of fairy lakes and ponds out of like cut glass for the fairy garden, which I'm so excited. It's looking so good. But with this week's Garden Arcana being all about the Judgment card, that idea of rebirth, looking at something and judging whether it's got another life, whether it can be repurposed, upcycled. Upcycling in the garden is absolutely where judgment energy lives. And the ladies in the charity shop got more excited than me. They were running out the back, bringing things out, saying you could use this, you could use this. They charged me £5 for this whole lot. They packed it up in 2 boxes for me, £5 the lot. And I want to share what I've got and how I use recycling and hauls like this to turn a garden into a magic garden. First of all, down here, which you can't see, look at these 2 beauties. Look at the size of these shells. Now these, look at that. Look at that. These weren't even in the shop. They were hidden in the back. And she said, I've got some shells in the back. Could you use those as well? Little did I know she was going to bring these out. Now these are going to be perfect to put aside for a Mother Mary grotto. I really want to, somewhere in the garden, make a grotto. Look, here's another shell. It's so massive I can hardly get it all in frame. Isn't it gorgeous? They are so heavy. Oh, I think there might even be another one in there. They packed it all up for me while I went and got my car. Oh my gosh, it's so heavy. Let's have a look. Right, I'm just going to show you what's in here. So there are pots on the trellis. Like a little metal pot here. I love this colour green, so that's another pot. They brought these out the back for me. These are little metal bucket pots. Now the cut glass, isn't this gorgeous? Look at that. So the plan is to try and make some glass stacks and to have this top layer full of water. I have plans, I have glass plans for the garden. So that's one cut glass piece. Here's another, look at this. Isn't that gorgeous? So again, just clear glass there. Right, in here, can you still see? In here, look, there are some beautiful, gorgeous fairy ornaments. I just absolutely love them. I thought these might look nice on top of the sewing table. They've kind of got that sort of colour way about them. Look, that one, a little seesaw and a little doggy. So that's one fairy ornament. And then in here there is another from the same set. Look at this one with bunnies. And yes, all of these are going to wear in time, but you know, £5 for this entire haul, even if these don't only last a few years, then, you know, they can be replaced with other things that I find. But the thing is, you know, as things age in the garden, they take on that lovely sort of mysterious garden feel about them. Okay, there's another pot here, nice pink pot. It's so bright out here, I can't even see whether I'm in the shot. I can't see the screen at all. And then a metal pot. So a whole array of pots. Another ceramic bowl for fairy gardens. Oh, this is gorgeous. This actually might not cope with the garden, but isn't that gorgeous? Look, it's a fairy inside a bubble. Oh, I just love her. That might not be garden proof, I don't know yet. We might be able to put it inside a fairy house perhaps. I just got, this was in just a box of bits and bobs. I got that to possibly hang fairy ladders off. I got a new heavy duty bolt for the gate. Thank you, Rupert. So that's everything in that box. But there is another box here. Now this, she's just thrown in as a surprise, which she often does, which is super cute. Right, this, I said to her, this might not be garden proof, but she said take it and try and do something with it, and it is gorgeous. I think it's a lampshade, because look, it's got a hole both ends, but I wondered whether I could cover it in yacht varnish to try and protect it, because it is pretty stunning, isn't it? So there's that. What else? Oh yes, there's this that I thought might look lovely in the moon garden. Look at that. See, so many amazing, unusual things. And then more fairies for the fairy garden. So there's her, fairies or angels. This one is super cute. Look at the wings on her. So she's lovely. And then there is another fairy here. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And then I got this metal stack as well. I just thought that might be nice planted up somewhere. So that's it. £5 for all of that. For all of this little lot, which is, I think, just quite spectacular. You know, it gives me a chance to put some little pots, some little plants inside these pots, to add some little interest, like a bit of a sculpture, stuff collected for the grotto. I mean, she might even go in a grotto as well. So it's just potential, and you know, it's stuff that just makes, I think, a garden really whimsical and interesting. And you have to gauge overkill, because you don't want your garden looking, you know, like a car boot sale. But you know, I've got places and plans for all of these. I was intentionally looking for bowls like this. I was intentionally looking for some more fairies. In the back of my mind, there's the grotto plans started. My moon garden was in my mind, and then pots here to go on my wall, which I need to show you, because the wall is over here. Now you can see I've got pallets fixed on this pallet wall, but can you see what I've started doing? Now this really is, for me, on this wall, this really is joyous. This is sun card again, so we're going to put this in with the sun card energy. A wall of collectibles. Now I keep finding sort of unicorns and My Little Ponies. Some of these are fakies, they're not real My Little Ponies, and I love them and I buy them. And I thought at one point I was going to start a new collection, because I am a collector and I love to see collections altogether, but of course with the dolls I've got no room for another collection in the house. And then I suddenly thought I could make a collection wall of them. So this makes me incredibly happy every time I come out. So again, all thrifted, all pennies, but just joyous. Sun card energy. And over here we've got judgment energy for the judgment card. One person's rubbish is another person's treasure, and I think that's what you're looking at here. And I think if you want more whimsy in a garden, just keeping your mind focused on the potential of objects and the rebirth of objects is a fantastic way. And of course I couldn't wait. The second I was finished filming the haul, I started placing things out. Look at the little homage to the moon here. How cute is that? This my little piece of moon garden I made last week. I know we're not on the moon card, but look, I have to show you the rose again. And look, the zinnias did survive that hailstorm this week, as did the sunflowers. What a relief. So surrounded by upcycled, recycled, thrifted and free objects, we finally come to the world card. And I want to show you the fairy world now, a brand new world within the garden for world card energy. I spent all week really working in Tilly's secret garden for this. Her birthday present of an owl welcome sign now fitted on her gate. Even this owl on the gate reminded me of the woman surrounded by the laurel wreath in the world card. Wise owls asking for passwords to get in with gnome gatekeepers. And through we go. The sewing machine now has fairies on there, planted as well with another brand new heuchera. I absolutely love this sewing table, yacht varnish to make it sturdy enough to attempt to survive a garden life. And just beyond the new sunflowers that are now planted, a new world, fairy world, with lilies requested by Tilly and brand new foxgloves. We can see the repurposing. We have a cut glass lake and a fishing stone awaiting a new gnome. A fishing stone that I found in my driveway, and it had fossils within it. I couldn't believe that. There is a homage to my old dog Maisie, and here the old barbecue, now a two-tier world with a fairy forest, a world of mini fairies, a fishing lake and a fairy nursery, all looked over by the flamingos, of course. Flamingos and foxgloves. Every fairy world needs that. There are mini fountains on order to make the sound of water, and amazing fairy houses waiting to be made. Underneath this plant, a baby fairy growing its wings. And beyond the fairy garden gate, a wild forest where dragons live, looked over by the angel of the north, keeping the dragons in check. A sacred pool calls to other fairies. I look around Tilly's secret garden and I am just loving the way all of the energies of this week's Garden Arcana came into play. Even Mr. Bummy, the original gnome, approves. Later that day, earlier thrifted finds of shovel and spade and gnomes, and also some tiny mini fairy houses that I'd found a few weeks ago in a charity shop, also joined fairy world. It has just been joyous this week making this. And all week I've not known how to stop filming as new blooms open. Happiness and suns and joy everywhere. I have come such a long way from the days of my crying seat in the garden, the days of processing betrayals and trauma. This garden has been my journey from that, integrating those lessons until it feels like another lifetime. So, a journey through the major arcana of the tarot in my garden. It has been such a wonderful experience. Thank you, Theia, over at Garden Goddess Tarot, for being on this journey with me, and thank you guys for watching and joining in. It's been so much fun. So from the Sun and the Judgement and the World card of this week, remember, don't get buried by mountains when they come up. Climb them or learn to dig. And so from the World card we loop back to the start of a new journey, the Four, and I want to take you back to where this channel first began. The very first video on my channel, a garden tour full of worlds with a tiny buzzbee helping me build the first part of the garden I ever tackled, the Theia garden. In this video you will see the garden as it was all those years ago. I hope you enjoy. Go on then, are you ready? Are you steady?
No, I changed him.
Go on then.
Ready, steady, go.
Okay, off we go.
I turn it, remember. I turn it to side to side, remember. Pop, rise the door.
No, past ping pong world. Bing bong, bing bong, bing bong. Past mud pie kitchen. Rah. Past Stinky Welly World. Yo.
Crocodile Road.
Nah. 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 Patio World. Right, magic word.
Open. Dinosaur dang.
Dinosaur dang.
It's working.
Open, yeah.
Can I get out?
No, we've got to go down Narrow World.
No, I want to walk down now.
No, we're going to ride it. Ready? Fingers in on Narrow World. Down we go. Ah! That's why it's narrow.
No, you just walked it.
We did, and all the way to the mountain. And what are we going to do at the mountain?
Dig!
Dig!
I'm going to get out. I'm going to try my best. Get out. Oh, there it is. Oh,
Well done. I'm going to go and dig.
I'm big up to that.
Only a little bit more to go.